This time, I will ask Charles Person, chaplain, American Legion Post 515, to give the invocation. I'm coming.
Today we are here to honor those who have served our country. And given their lives so that we may stand here and still live in freedom. We need to be constantly reminded of our gift of freedom and of those who gave all to make sure future generations continue to know life in a free and democratic society. Remembering those who have passed is only half of the task that is before us today. We must also carry their love, honor, and duty forward to the future generations that will pass. Our children must know that they were who they were, what they did, and why they did it. To do anything less will be a disservice to their sacrifice and their memories. Those who have gone created a clear pathway for us to carry on. We must never waver from the path of freedom and democracy. Take their memories, take their dreams, and walk forward, shouldering that cause of freedom. Carry it high and proud. They did, and now you must walk forward for them and for our children. Amen.
At this time, we have greetings by Max Capura, the Deputy Mayor of the City of Latrobe.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's ceremony and thank you for attending. Let me say that it is truly an honor and a privilege to welcome you here to the city of Latrobe on such an important occasion. We're here today to honor our servicemen and women and to remember the sacrifices that they have made in honor of their duty and country. We are ever grateful. The service members that we honor today come from all walks of life, but they share several fundamental qualities. They possess courage, pride, determination, selflessness, dedication, integrity, all the qualities needed to serve a cause larger than oneself. And today, people throughout our country will gather together to remember and to honor and to pay gratitude to those who have served our country. Our gathering is just one of the countless sparks in the flame of pride that burns across our nation today and every day. Although ours may not be as large as some other ceremonies, it is every bit as sincere. This is our community's way of shining the brightest light on those who have made the ultimate sacrifice so that we can live in freedom. Again, welcome to the beautiful city of Latrobe, and thank you for sharing with us in remembrance today. Now, please join me in proudly reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
Present arms.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Arms. Order. Arms.
Thank you.
this time, there will be a musical selection by the Greater Latrobe Senior High School Band. Tim Sheridan, director. At this time, I would like to introduce the Veterans Organization officers. VFW Post 3414, Richard Allman, Commander. American Legion Post 515, Susan Patchen, Commander. Marine Corps League, Ralph Patterson, Commandant. Sons of the American Legion, Chad Campbell, Commander. American Legion Auxiliary Unit 515, Janet Penrose, President. American Legion Junior Auxiliary, Michaela Salembo, President. VFW Post 3414, Ladies Auxiliary, Christine Murphy. Latrobe Fire Department, John Brazili, Chief. Sons of the American Revolution, Dwayne Miller. Daughters of the American Revolution, Helen Allman. Sons of the Civil War, Dwayne Miller. Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts of America. This time we'll have the presentation of the wreaths. World War I, Thomas R. Hill, VFW Post 3414. World War II, Susan Patchen, Commander, American Legion Post 515. Vietnam, William Tomko, past commander, VFW Post 3414. Panama, Grenada. South Patterson, Panama, April. Desert Storm, Pro Penrose, past commander, American Legion Post 515. Iraq and Afghanistan, Charles Patchen, past commander, American Legion Post 515. American Legion Auxiliary Unit 515, Janet Penrose, President. American Legion Junior Auxiliary Unit 515, Michaela Salembo. Veterans of Foreign Wars Auxiliary 3414, Christine Murphy. Daughters of the American Revolution, Mary Ellen F. Miller. And Sons of the American Revolution, Dwayne Miller. At this time, we'll have a musical selection by the Latrobe Volunteer Fire Department bagpipers. At this time, we'll have a music selection by the Greater Latrobe Senior High Band. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our speaker for today. Rob Sipe is a 24-year veteran of the United States Marine Corps, retiring as a Chief Warrant Officer in 2008. His career consisted of 13 deployments and 4 combat tours, serving in Desert Storm, Desert Shield, Bosnia, and 2 tours in Iraq. He has multiple combat awards, including the Bronze Star with Combat Distinguishing Device for Valor and Meritorious Service Medal. Rob has been employed for the past 6 years as the Weapons and Tactics Subject Matter Expert from the Marine Special Operations School, Marine Corps Forces Special Operations Command, and the Director of Special Insertion and Extractions Operation Force. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to welcome my son-in-law, Robert Sipe.
Good morning. I'd like to thank the City of Latrobe, and I'd also like everybody to join me in a round of applause for all the participants in the parade today, the Color Guard. We come here today as countrymen, Americans free to pursue a life full of opportunities that our nation aspires to, that all other nations aspire to. For over 2 centuries, this promise, given to us by our founding fathers, has been upheld by every American who has ever put on a uniform for the armed forces. Millions have died, either on the battlefield or in the aftermath, to ensure that the bond of this work continues on to our next generation. We set aside a day each year to memorialize these patriots. But the scope of this sacrifice becomes so large that we lose sight of what the ultimate price truly is, not only to the person who paid it, but to the people that love them and are left behind to continue their memory. It is through the memories of these men and women that we pay tribute. It is through my memory of some of these very fine Americans that I want to share with you today, specifically 3 of them: a Marine, a wife left behind, and the last, a mother and a father's dignity in their loss. I first met Gunnery Sergeant John Gifford in 2008 on a trip to Tampa for a sniper conference. We fast became friends as I learned of this Marine's unique and wonderful life. John was married and the father of 6 children. He owned a large amount of property outside of the Camp Lejeune area, which he cleared on his own, and then used that lumber to build a log home and most of the furniture that filled it. All the while deploying to Afghanistan or Iraq in support of his country. John's wife Lisa would take on the additional burden of the family during these combat tours, while also homeschooling each of these children. In 2011, John's family was struck with a tragedy as they lost their youngest daughter to an accident. But it was through that family's strong conviction and love that they made it through this difficult time. On July 29th of 2012, John was conducting combat operations in Afghanistan when he and several Afghan commandos were pinned down by heavy fire. John crossed 800 meters of open terrain several times to rescue the wounded Afghans. And at one point, to stem the flow of fire, he scaled the outside of a building and threw grenades down the chimney to stop the onslaught of the enemy. It was only after rescuing his counterparts and advancing on his own that the enemy finally took him from us. John was awarded the Navy Cross posthumously that day for his actions. I remember John, and now everyone here will remember him as well. My neighborhood has a group of women, of which my wife is a part of, that works out a couple times a week. One of these women is a gregarious and vibrant young girl named Sarah. She's always quick with a joke or a sarcastic comment. Most of the times it's in regard to me being old. But it would appear that she just lives the normal life of a 20-something young girl. She's married, just had a young baby last week, as a matter of fact. But there's a difference about Sarah. As you see in her window in her house, there's a gold star hanging in it. Because prior to this marriage, Sarah was married to a Marine Corporal, Paul Miller, who died in combat a few years before. Paul was a combat engineer who died during his service clearing a road of an IED in July of 2010. This devastated Sarah, as it would anyone who has lost a loved one. But the wonder of this all is how Sarah lives her life now. There's a dignity about her and an openness that she is always willing to talk about Paul. Sarah shares in the pride of his service and his sacrifice while continuing to live her life to the fullest, living it as a testament to Paul and not as a victim that was collected up that day with him. Her intent is to keep his memory alive through her actions and words. She does Paul's memory justice every day. Sarah remembers Paul, and now we'll all remember him as well. In 2007, I returned home from a particularly difficult deployment with our unit. In 7 months, my battalion had lost 15 Marines and taken 180 wounded. A few weeks after our return, my battalion commander had arranged for the family members of the fallen to come to Camp Lejeune and participate in a celebration of life. One of the events leading up to the ceremony was an individual briefing that we would give the parents for anyone who was involved in the loss of their loved one. Lance Corporal William Coprince was one of the Marines that I was involved in briefing. I remember sitting with my wife in the battalion conference room, and for the first time I was overwhelmed with emotion. I was overwhelmed to a point that Wendy had to greet the family and I had to step away and collect myself. All I could remember is thinking that I have a son at the very age of this Marine who these parents have lost. What could I say to them that wouldn't be hollow words? But then I heard the father speak. He spoke with words of pride and patriotism, honor and respect of his son's service. There was a sadness which should be expected, but it was tempered with the knowledge that his son did what he wanted to do and did it in the service of his country, and he would always be forever proud of that. The Marine Corps remembers Lance Corporal William Coprince. and today the nation remembers him as well. In the end, this day is about the memories. I would ask that each of you today leave here with the few examples I've given you, or share your own memories of those who have served and died for our nation. Lift them up today and celebrate their sacrifice to our country. There's no politics or agenda in the purpose of today. There's just a realization of the magnitude of what a man or a woman can do when called upon to serve this great country. I will leave you with the phrases used by the Marines I have the privilege of serving with as a civilian now. It's a short and concise memorial applied whenever we lose a Marine Raider, and it holds true for everyone we've lost. It's simply put, never above you, never below you, always beside you. God bless all who have served, died for this country, and God bless America.
Thank you, Rob. At this time, I will have all the units come to attention. Unit commanders take charge.
Shoulder, arm. Present, arm.
This time, we'll let your band play the Star Spangled Banner. This time we'll have the Benediction by Charles Person.
We remember today all those who have gone before us and given the greatest gift of our demonic society, their lives, their duty, their honor, and their lives are precious gifts that must be given to the future of our country and our families. The duty of our veterans past and present is the fiber of the word freedom, and is stronger by our recognition and service and sacrifice. We honor that service and sacrifice today and should carry it forward for our children to honor. Freedom and democracy are the result of all of the most honorable this country has produced. Today we stand in to remember the most honorable among us, and we must continue to carry the burden of their sacrifice. Lest we lose sight of what true freedom is. Today is for remembering. Stand in honor of them. Walk in their path of duty. Remember the cost, and hold in your heart the cause of freedom. We remember today, Memorial Day, our veterans. Thank you. Have a great afternoon.
This concludes our memorial service. Thank you all for your attendance.